Greetings, this is Helix Oblivion, and this is Little Steam.
Hello!
And we're playing the beginner's guide. I thought it'd be fun if we played it together.
Yeah. I wonder if you can choose which computer to hack in. So basically, you hack into someone's computer, not a real life person. No.
Well, I don't know if you do hack into the computer. If you just make sure it says, please make sure audio is on.
Yes, it is.
Controls. Yay.
Senpai.
I don't know if I can do the WASD.
Just
Hi
do
there.
double.
Thank you very much for playing the beginner's guide.
It's okay.
My name is Davey Reedon. I
Hello.
wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda.
Hey, Coda.
Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day he just stopped.
Oh.
In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Wow. Loading.
You weren't even one when this was made. Whispers.
Whisper machine active. Shift to structure imminent.
Says evacuate.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I like the fact that Coda called his recycling bin Important Games Folder. Am I wrong? No. I'll go this way. Oh, it won't let me. Okay. Well, Coda was obviously a cool programmer. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh dear. Woo woo woo. Hello.
Can I open these? No.
Security call reached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
Hostile alien life form.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Oh.
But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
No, I can't reload.
Begin ship evacuation.
Okay.
What did we do?
I don't know.
I think she stopped.
I think maybe he stopped because he wasn't really that into generic shooters. Oh, look, I can go up this way. Can I put the gun away? It seems kind of pointless to be. Oh, wow, look
You
at
can see
that.
the bottom of the universe from this road.
Wow. Why didn't you cover it with space?
That's the bottom view. Go this way.
No, you can't.
No, we've
You
got
can
this.
only go through the ones that
See, that looks like space, but then you kind of look down and like, oh. It's like, it's kind of like, it's just kind of laughing at how fake everything is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like with the other one, he wants to break people's perception of reality.
Apparently, the space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Interesting question. Would you die for the sake of others?
Maybe.
If just you jumping in here would save everybody on the ship, would you do it?
Yeah.
You would?
I think. I don't know.
I think it...
This is not a branching point, unfortunately. The only option is to step into the beam.
No, I know. I'm just questioning. Dude. Okay, let's go into the beam. There.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
What?
Okay, so we have to sacrifice ourselves again. Oh! Bye, cruel world! Oh, look, you can see the maze.
The beam causes you to start floating.
That's cool.
And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse.
Makes sense.
I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions.
Glitch.
Let's go ahead and take a look
I
at
like
the first
glitches.
game he made
Some glitches are
after
cool.
leaving this one behind.
But this one was actually. But that glitch was actually supposed to be there because. That's stupid. Oh!
The past was behind her. Okay. I can't move. Oh no, I can.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Okay. I'm gonna get so disorientated doing this. Ah!
So it's a short and
Well, the future
relatively
could not be
minimalist
seen.
experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it
changing?
seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Well, yeah, because, you know, I suppose the future is kind of hidden, because but if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength? She has to stop. Smell the roses. To confront it. There was a
It's a
door
short
there.
little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
That's kind of pretty
Which to me
self-explanatory.
is why it works, because it gets out quick.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Easy.
So this is the hat.
Follow the path. You are now entering. Oh.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay.
Awkward.
Yep, that was odd.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre
Nonsense.
titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction. Okay, so big
I wish
flat
I'd known
stairs.
him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it.
Okay.
Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him.
I'm guessing
And I
you're
don't
going to
agree
go up
with
here and
that at
jump
all,
off.
but what are you gonna do?
The futility of striving hard through life.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay, press enter. Awesome. Plays a camera filming an advertisement on a button you press to stop the chaos that doesn't work. Press U to surrender. Whoa! You construct a wall, the wall
room
is
that's
destroyed, you
warm
are given a medal.
And nice and filled with little ideas for games.
A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate game. That'd be a clever marketing
Coda would
trick,
often
actually.
tell me that he
You need
didn't
to buy
mind
two
if
games.
people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that.
Game is like that
It
door,
can be a
so
very slow
that
climb
key's
to get
from
there.
another game.
Maybe.
I might actually do that. Make a game.
You run a shop inside your own body, selling your organs strategically to make the most money before you die.
Oh yeah. Someone wants to play this game because
Ready, set, fish. Okay.
I've actually seen someone else play a game like that.
Really?
So, yeah, so, he played it. It was the one with the lake. And like it was in the cage. Like he got sent letters and they
Oh,
sent
yeah,
for,
but he
like,
wasn't selling his body parts.
well, not him in the cell. So he was locked
Well, this
up.
is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Of course I can. I'm a genius. Okay, maybe I'm not. We go in here?
Maybe you need a key from another game.
There's no secret passageway. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh no, he thought of that.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay.
Oh, maybe we'll get keys from another game.
I mean, we got to do it again.
I don't think so.
I like this room. I feel safe in this room.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
No.
Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. Oh, cool. So there's lots of corridors and things.
How
there.
about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
That's cool.
I
How
actually
do we
find
get
it
to
funny that this game comes after the stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So
Hence
if
the-
your role here is not to understand, then what
Hence
is
the
it?
don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
You don't judge a book by its cover. Oh, it's this again. Can I go this way? No. You are now exiting.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Cassie.
Oh.
March 2009.
March. Bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum. Bum, ba-da-da-da-bum.
The Great and Lovely Descent.
Ooh. Oh,
Oh, pretty house. Oh, look at the pretty house.
what's going on?
It's a pretty house.
I think she built her house.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Ah, toilet.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools
Cool.
available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture of these games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I want to go in the middle. What's the thing in the middle? I want to go in the middle. I like that. This isn't boxy. It's kind of circular. This is cool. This looks like a prison. What was that? This definitely looks like a prison, don't you think?
Go forward.
Can I jump?
No.
I can't get in. It looks like a prison though, doesn't it? Whoa! I don't want to go that.
What?
It's a lift. It's taking me to my prison cell. What did I do wrong?
No, wrong way.
Or she would say, I'm sorry!
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah. Oh!
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Okay. So he's got a twisted sense of humour. Cool. What do we think of his sense of humour? Is it little steam?
I don't like it.
No?
You're about to say
Oh, I like this Prit. Prit? I can't talk. This Prit's nice. Oh, it's pretty. I love pretty.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over.
Can I
But
jump
I
out the
promise
window?
I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. Ever onward.
Yeah.
I think Coda. I don't know. Oh! Listen, listen, listen.
It's kind of tricky sound.
Oh, I like the fireplace.
Oh, I meant fire,
I go in the wardrobe. You there, did you come from up above?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Yes, those are world
Use the
standard
1, 2, 3
messages
buttons on your
that
keyboard to
prisoners
respond.
can answer. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. It's literally like I did before I came here. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution and tell us how to get to the other side. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh no, but I do, we need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. Promise you there's nothing I want more. Weird head.
You know, boxes as their head, so when it turns around, it's just speaking.
Yeah.
More!
Again, a fireplace and a wardrobe. Hello, how did you puzzle you had to pass through? Yes.
So
Do you want to know? Do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors. Far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? I don't recall the space between the doors. Don't worry, I'm sure you will visit it again soon. Be sure to pay close attention. This one's got curtains. This is a posh room. Black space between the doors. This bit.
I think it is. I don't know.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I like the texture around here.
It's lovely.
It's lovely. That's right now. It's alright now. Oh, is this the blackness between the doors? Oh, maybe they're on about this. Ooh! We're outside!
Yay! We escaped the prison.
Yay! Did we? We
It's a
seem to be
lamppost.
surrounded.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a
the light at the
destination.
end of the tunnel.
We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Get the feeling you're trying to brainwash me. Ever so gently. I'm not sure I want to be brainwashed.
I don't think he's trying to brainwash you.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. Helix Oblivion.
As you walk around, you can leave notes. Cool. All notes you see are left by other players. Okay. How many other players have there been? How'd you read it? Nice room. Not. Okay. How do you leave notes?
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but his game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly
wow.
after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
The sailors are looking for it.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Okay.
Free t-shirt.
I think she's selling stuff.
Next game includes door cat open door, thanks.
I said that we're basically gonna hack into people's computer. I think we're gonna hack into hers. I think it's a girl anyway.
Why'd you say that?
I just did. Hey, Mummy, well, I wonder what happens now if you click enter. You just do something. Can you click enter?
Do you hear the chimes? They keep going. There's no chimes. I would like it. You see, there's notes like that I would like very much to be desired that are rather odd. Not very crowded in here.
It's not real.
Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. This is where I get off. I like the picture. Stop turning back, proceeding further will only result in misery. Cabbage shapes our nation. Okay. What is that painting? It's cool. I wish there was a sprint button.
I think it's enter.
I think I'm not going anywhere. To be honest, I would say that this was like most people. We have things that we think we're brilliant at, and there's things that we want to do much better, but we're not confident in what we do.
Painting. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's someone that's standing.
Painting, what does it mean? Whoever made this has issues.
You!
Who are all of you? The voices in his head. We will all die someday. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. No, it's just a picture. Pretty picture. Devil Tower style.
So this is actually left by her. So it's like, oh, this is left by my creator.
Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. This terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
I wish there were notes in the real world. There are, it's called Facebook. Become one with the spiralling nonsense.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
His voices are being repeated!
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Just one solitary note at the end. Oh, it's sounds of typewriters. How do you leave notes? I have no idea. Sound of typewriters. And there's a post. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to talk to me. Say something. Why are you having so much difficulty? Speak.
Just speak!
Won't let me type.
So noisy.
Yep. Typewriters can be noisy.
I'm covering my ears. Stop going.
You played on my typewriter upstairs, haven't you?
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
This is that.
Nice view, I think.
Very nice.
Okay. I like that wall. Nice pictures. It's putting pictures in the corridors now. That's an improvement.
Yeah, that's an improvement. I saw he to her.
They, the person that did this, he, her. Though I'm sure the person that's commentating said it was a he. Can I go to the well? Oh, I'm in the well.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What furniture ought to go in the centre of the room? TV. That's just a coffee table. Okay, now what about the wall of the room? Let's put a huge picture of a horse, really, like a washing machine. Oh, 10 stoves. They're chairs. They're not stoves. Skylight, full ceiling window, let's open this baby up. Recess. Tesla. Oh, Tesla coils would be awesome. Tesla coils? No. And a table. You need a table. I'm stood on a table. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? None of my choices are making any difference.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Okay, so it's like a furniture maze.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. No, I'm gonna go this way. Hi. Oh, I can't. Can I go that way? This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care. First, click on this table. Go over to the photo frame, click on it and turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off and then turn it back on. How is this going to help me escape any prison environment? Now go to the left side of the sofa and move it over a little. Finally touch the shelves. That's it, a real prison. In a real prison. The escape will now open. Return to the start and be taken back to your prison. Is this not the prison? Return. What?
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
Oh, I like
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful
This is in the well.
to see a person
like
basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against
like
yourself. Without it, you just
Awesome!
And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going.
Maybe
and then
he was
hits
just
on
trying to
something.
figure some stuff out,
And he
you
likes
know?
it.
Sometimes
And
you have
that's
to
it.
revisit
He's
an
done.
idea.
He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
That looks pretty.
Prison is not in it. What?
The prison is not a prison. Can I go? Okay.
There's the lamp. I think you have to go to the lamp.
Can I go? Are there deep passages I can go down?
No.
No?
No, there's none.
Can I go to the phone box and make a phone call?
I think you can. I think you can.
Okay, I don't like that it opened.
Please! I think that's your only choice. Hello?
Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep. I was in the furniture mess. I was in
It's a
the
conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who
I'm
knows.
so glad to know that I get out of
But the
it
irony is that
eventually.
even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
But it's still a while at the same time. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. No, I'm really the same person now as I was, but then it doesn't actually change. I don't feel like the same person at all. I'm gonna go for 2. Oh good. Give him something to aim for. That makes me feel really happy. Still me, but I'm just not. Somehow it's hard to describe. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now, it won't last. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No. I think I'm the first person to call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? Oh, you need to just tell me your thought now. Talk with me for a bit.
Say talk with me for a bit.
I'm gonna say tell me how you feel. What? That will free me? How does that work? I have no idea. Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just tell me how you feel. It will make sense. Okay, 3. Okay, I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Genuine feeling. Go on. Is that it?
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
This.
Snow.
I think
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either
in
side
footprints.
and a dark transitional space between.
Mom, I think. Can you go in the house?
House looks warm and cozy, doesn't it?
I think this is her house.
Oh, this is a nice house. Can I light the fire?
No. I think this is Coda's house.
Do you think so? Oh my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. Sorry about me, please.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Could you please clear the table? There you go. That's nice. That's the table I want to see. Wash up. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Okay. I like these corridors.
Hey, Mum.
I'd love a house like
This
this.
is the bathroom.
This is a oh, look at this, it goes, look, you could play a great game of like chase in this house. Because you could just go round and round and round and round and round and never catch anybody. That would be awesome. Ah!
Why did Nerd have to be
This is the bedroom. Please run to the bedroom and make the bed. Straighten the rug out a bit. All the little details matter. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How do you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. This isn't a messy house. Try having children and pets.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll just come sit any other way. It seems which I guess is all. Couch. Straighten the pillows. Yay. Easy peasy. Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe a mop up as long as you're over there. Where? Oh, there. Here you go. Cheesy personal insight, you okay with that?
I don't
Make it especially cheesy.
make it especially cheesy. No.
No. It was stupid, sorry, never mind. What?
It was just stupid joke.
Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Okay. There you go. Last time I checked, the tub needed cleaning. Yay. I like this house. Can I have a
Oh,
house?
wait, stop! He's standing up.
There you go.
I think he's standing up.
Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? Yeah. Perfect. There you go. Now then, how about you come clear these dishes off the table? Oh,
After
I've
the
just done
intense
it.
set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
That's it.
In your lifetime, you're going to clean a lot of houses, and among all these, a few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences, and none of them will ever be the ones that were easy, just something to think about.
I know
while
that
you
Coda
smooth out
really
the
liked
rug in
this
the
game.
bedroom.
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few
Looks like
months
the
where
tub
he
has
was
gotten
like
rather dirty. Would you
grossly
mind
happy
tidying up? I've
all
just
the
done all
time.
this.
Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you, okay? Don't know why I feel so weird about saying that.
I say so. I thought that was right.
But there's a bit of truth in that, I think. What do you want me to tidy? I quite like this house. I'd love a house like this. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please get... Who's going around messing this house up while I've tidied it all? Thanks. Oh goodness, those pillows on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Can't have those folks coming home to a messy couch.
Oh, phew, something.
Question. Did
But,
you enjoy
of
this?
course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I liked this house. Could you always walk through that wall? Can I stay here? It's nice. There's a nice bedroom and...
It's because you tidied it.
Yeah, but... It's nice. I'm nobody. I have no reflection. Either that or I'm a vampire. I don't wanna go.
I think you have to. That's the kind of game of design.
I wanna stay. It's nice.
I don't think you're allowed.
Bye bye, beautiful house.
I think it's against the game's law.
Oh look, a lamppost.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
There was a floating tray?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
I saw it. Items you
This
love
one
at
gets a
members
bit
only
goofy.
prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationship more meaningful? No! You came here to become perfect! No. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. Did I move seats?
Yeah, you did.
I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know is so well developed in a person they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we effortlessly.
It says teacher.
No, it says talk. This, it is so easy. It is so
About halfway
easy.
through the game, the
Being
perspective
perfect
shifts.
is effortless. Cool!
And you play as the teacher.
This is the key how
Suddenly, you discover that
do
your
I
teacher
achieve
is
it
just
with
as
no effort on
bigoted
the
and
way to work
afraid as you
unless I
are.
start concentrating.
Oh, and also
Yeah,
you can
too.
move around the classroom now.
Let me tell you right now, if it wasn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Thank goodness all of your pursuing is being wise and intelligent. Drinking it's not hurting my eyes.
The lamppost! There it is!
Am I supposed to go towards it?
I think you're on.
Can I move? I can't.
I think you're supposed to jump into that place. Go up the steps.
Can't go up these stairs, it won't let me. There is no truth, there is no path. Ah, just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy? What? I'm not good. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Holy shit, you guys! Something is coming out the back of the room. Look out! Okay, let's do that one. Nothing, none. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone, run! Run!
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have.
Really?
To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Okay. You need to get out more. Although I guess it is kind of true. We do look at other people and think everybody else has it easy, don't we?
Yeah. And back.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Can I walk around the stage? Is there anything behind here? Is there any, like, secret areas? Can I go up the ladder?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm just walking into the wall.
Boom, 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 boom. I said boom. Sorry.
I'm going to enter stage right. Or stage left, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Me.
Okay.
Us. All of us. Oh,
Whoa!
the fans, I mean.
Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please.
You are.
This scene you will be playing as me. We are gathering at a gathering of professionals. First you'll start out leaning against this wall. Which side? Well, that's kind of obvious then. Oof. Good. Stay right there. I'm going to cross through the room. In this chair, it's a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello. That's it. That's not a conversation. Wise, happy. You need to be actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Focused, successful.
Hello.
Here are all of my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I was doing, or what I wanted. I was confident for some reason. It was just at one moment. But I was confident maybe that you need a better feel for the setting. There were lots of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Boing, boing. 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 I heard. Okay, what do we. So, people. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you learned to lean into the pain. What are some of the sacrifices you have to make? 3.
3?
You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out. The conversation gets personal that quickly. Do you not realise how important this is for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. Ugh, I'm not going to get this right. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Okay, I'll get off. Oh. A lamp post. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yes, now this is working. This is
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
He's scared of failure.
But what can you do?
Don't you?
After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010.
Oh! What?
Mobius strip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game.
I'm not too much.
I can't play this if my eyes are closed. I don't even have a sense of touch. What?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
We're going to crash.
What door? I'm
Ah!
supposed to go in there. Right, you're onto something.
Okay. The only way to stop it is to speak something honest. That's it, that's the truth. Okay.
Like I said, I was getting concerned.
It's dragging.
First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So,
Keep going, keep
where's
going.
that coming from? But then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out.
Oh.
After this game, it's almost
More
6
desperate.
months before he finishes something new.
Desperate.
Do
Why
you
is
want
that?
more desperate games?
I don't know. Well, that's what this game resembles. So,
Hello!
hello?
Ooh, a tree and some grass. A small floaty island. Is anyone out there? Ooh, I'm making more islands. I like this. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. Oh no, it's disappeared! What's wrong? You look lost. Completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work.
Number one always goes ding.
Oh no. Can I jump over to that one?
What?
No. There's a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again.
Is it number
one? I don't know. I'm just pressing buttons. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. Yay, he knows where the machine is.
Say where?
It isn't far.
Say where? Say where? Say
You
where?
need to see it and know why it stopped. I like this. This is kind of cool. This
If the
doesn't seem-
last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Who knows?
Because, from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone,
This is
not
super
releasing them
easy.
onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
I don't think it lasts good.
First you have to open the door first. Okay. Now what? Then you go through and close the door behind you. Now you have to... Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Now just press the switch here. Super easy.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
There's no machine here. I can hear crying. Can you hear crying?
I think it's her. She cried at the moment when she was speaking into the mic. This is her. She's crying.
Okay. Oh! But it wasn't true.
How do we get through?
Don't worry about it, just keep talking, keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games I feel completely energized, I'm completely excited and it's easy. So it's easy, it never stops being easy. This doesn't sound healthy.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so drunk. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. It never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Person.
But it didn't stop.
Aww.
After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
I like the fact that the developer's called Coda. He makes code. He likes code. He's Coda. Sorry, the machine. If he's making all these games, and he's the only one who ever plays them, that does say God. Well, glad to see you safely arrived. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda.
That's her.
This is press. Do you know where the poison is? Will it be punished? What is the machine? Will the machine explain itself? Imagine walking down a corridor, Goldstein, with people taking pictures of you like this. How daunting would that be?
I don't know. Can you guess what?
I'd be inclined to pull faces at them.
Yeah, that'd be funny. It looks oblivion. It looks oblivion. Funny word.
The machine.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. Stop feeding us. People out there, can you imagine what pain you put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through a day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do your job? How about this for a start? You need to go to the people who are out there and apologise to them because I've been so annoyed. How can a machine apologise? I just go say sorry. No, not thinking carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. What thing do you think he fears? The person. Alright then, I will speak to them for you. Oh, I don't want to go out there. Press. My friends, not followers. Pause me to deliver batteries. I have troubling revelation. The machine will not apologise. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. The machine will not apologise to us. This is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. I don't want to do either of those things. I don't want to destroy the machine. I don't want to destroy the things that we're...
I'd rather destroy the machine. Did you click destroy the machine?
No, that's wrong. The machine isn't to... Oh, we're back on a stage. What? Now I've got a gun.
This is the gun from the other again. Wait, what? No, you see it's facing the other way.
Can I go through here?
There's something through there.
Yeah, can we get to it?
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
Yeah, I know that. There's nothing to fire the gun at.
I think it's the curtain.
Oh. You're right, little one.
It's a little one.
Still can't get through though. I'm destroying everything.
I think you can destroy the stage.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
Whoa!
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Well, apparently we're destroying everything the machine has ever made. Including all the games.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took
I
this
shot through
one,
the floor.
and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon. I don't have a weapon. Unless my mouse is my weapon. Oh, now I've got weapon. I can't look around.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something. I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Because you shoot it.
I feel bad for shooting the machine.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Okay.
So let's take a look.
June 2011.
Wow. I'm coughing so many times. No.
The Tower.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
I wish there was a sprint button.
What?
This room actually has a maze in it.
Does it?
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Yeah, enter. Thank you.
Sorry, Mercury the King.
Despises people playing computer games. Something of an irony for somebody who designs computer games. Mind you, you know what they say, familiarity breeds contempt.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
You don't know where you're going, you don't know which is the right path, and perhaps...
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code.
the more you try,
Like the
more
invisible
you
maze,
die.
it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really
Maybe it's
understand why
online.
this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh, I went past. How annoying. I got the last number right. I got the first one, the third one, and the last one right. I wasn't too far off. That sounded gross.
It was just stone sounds rubbing together.
Friction. Have we got to jump down here?
Possibly.
Yep.
And now we're stuck.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
I don't know if this is saying more about you, the guy who's doing the narrating, or Coda.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
You didn't feel like.
You think you did
I
or
remember,
not?
it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It
Perhaps
wasn't
you
the guy
never
I knew.
knew.
It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to
This is what
please
you're
just
gonna do to Happy.
tell me what his games mean to him. I
I
asked him
think
please to tell me what
This
three
narrator
dots
was
mean.
projecting onto the guy
And
who
he
was
wouldn't.
writing these. The issue isn't with the guy doing the writing, the issue is with the guy playing the games. He's projecting his own issues.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy.
Why?
It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I
Why?
needed to be someone other than me.
Whoa, what's wrong with
But
you?
he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
Why did you need this? What is wrong with you that you needed this to fill your void? The issue is definitely with the narrator here, not the developer.
You're right, I think.
That's my interpretation.
Where did I screw up?
Yeah, I think he's screwed up.
No, don't say that, that's rude.
Well, he...
No, monkey say, monkey not do.
No,
Dear
sorry.
Davey.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore. You've become a class 5 Klingon, mate.
Dear.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between the games. So the problem was the narrator, not the... see? I called it. There was an answer, a meaning. Would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Yeah, see, I called this. Will you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them.
He's the one that handed
It's
it.
the narrator that's got the issue.
And then you stopped.
Would you
And I didn't
simply
have
let me
anything
do
left
what
to
I
show
want?
people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Oh dear. Yeah, I know people that I can't be around because they do make me feel low. You desperately need something, I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. See? Yeah. Toxic friends. You don't need them. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. Yeah, it's part of the creative, like writer's block. I said the problem was with the narrator, not the developer. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or broken says more about you than me. I said that! I am so chuffed. I called it. I realise that this doesn't make any sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
I think you're right.
Excuse me, because I cough.
Don't say anything. Oh no.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a
Wow.
part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I
He's
put my
turning into
name
a
on it,
stalker.
that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
It's on.
Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to do something again. Like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me.
Yep.
Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm
You need
fading.
help.
And all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Is that it?
Now we're hacking to a computer, I'm guessing.
Well,
Or maybe his. I don't know. Maybe the narrator.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
What's going on?
I don't know. Is the game ended? Epilogue. There's going to be more talking, isn't there?
I don't think so.
Oh. Pretty ceiling. Clock with no hands. How telling. This looks like a posh train station.
That's what I think it is. Did he just make a train station? Yeah.
Oh!
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
I think this is him now. I think we're now playing as him.
There's no windows on this train.
Oh, here it is. Or just a boat.
Oh, there's skylights, but
I think I just.
I can hear shouting.
Solution.
What?
I think we travelled. I think the train's so long it does that.
I can't go back out, can I? That's cool. I like that.
It goes all the way along to there.
Yeah, I like that. It's cool.
That's how you travel.
I like it. It's clever.
Clever. Very clever. Thank you, game designers, if you get in touch.
And look, it's just like you can't even see the end of. There's no railway line, just that. Oh, I like this house. It looks very French. Provincial.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Is this a gilded cage just for this crazy narrator? It's very sparsely furnished. You could do with some couches and some rugs and some flowers and the piano.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Oh, sand. Oh, this is like those houses in, is it Africa? I don't know. There's some, like a whole deserted village in I think it's Africa, though I could be wrong. And they're all just completely sand blown and full of sand.
Look, there was a picture where it got sanded.
Yeah.
Or is this dirt?
I think it's sand.
I think it's dirt.
Could be.
Could be dirt. I don't know. I never
Oh
know.
no, I've hit nothing again. Is this the end?
What?
Weird cavey thing. You okay? This is... What is
If I
this?
knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be?
A hobby?
It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
What's going on?
I don't know, but I think this person needs to realise that what other people think of them doesn't matter. You have to live with what you think of yourself.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you can't control other
What
people or what they think of you.
You're right. You're very right there.
So, you live your life the best way that you think you can.
And that's what
I
we've
think I
done,
need
but
to go.
failed.
And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for.
Yeah.
So I'm...
This is kind of
Just
cool though. I like this. It reminds me of Myst.
Okay.
It's a cool game. Puzzle
No,
sort
I'm
of game.
yawning.
Are you going to sleep?
No. What's
So
these?
this reminds me a little bit of Lima.
Lima.
Yeah, you remember that parkour game?
Oh yeah. You recorded it, didn't you?
No, I didn't record that one.
Oh. Oh, you can do soon.
I should do, shouldn't I?
Yeah, soon that's gonna be on YouTube. So make sure to look for that.
It's a cool
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's a parkouring game, but there's more to it.
I like
than
that.
just
That's very
parkour.
artistic.
There's more to it than just parkour the game. So.
Well, you've got to find letters and things. Do we dare jump?
Yes! I think that's your only thing to do. Now you're stuck. You walk up the edge.
Looks a long way down. Are you sure?
I'm sure I wanted
I can't get up.
I think you have to go around. Yep, you have to go all the way back round.
Oh well, that's easy enough to do.
Dun, dun, dun. Sorry.
Ba-da-ba.
Ba, 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 ba.
Okay, right, let's jump down the hole. What do you think is going to be down the hole? Her.
Oh, him.
The person. Poof. I love the fact that you take no fall damage in this game. It's a lift. Do we have to sort of time it to jump out of the hole? Or do we go back up?
I don't think. No, I don't want to go back up. Go into the hole.
Will it stop or do we have to just
We have
leg
to-
it?
I think we have to leg it.
It stopped anyway. See? No, stopped. Okay.
Na, 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 na. Na, na.
Oh, we're back here.
What? There's no clock this time.
There's no doors there either.
What? What's going on?
I think the person who wrote the games got so hacked off with this person's incessant stalking activities and made him his own virtual prison from which he could never escape, in which he would be eternally trapped to question his own motives.
Mum, look, that's from that other game.
Ah, will you sacrifice yourself for the greater good? You know I wouldn't let you, right?
I know, but I think that's what he has to do. Is he gonna speak?
I don't know. He's kind of said he has to go away and sort some stuff out.
No, he thinks. Maybe not.
And this is the end of the line. There is nowhere else.
We'll have to go into the beam.
Press enter. Do we float? Yes. Let's fly. Oh, it's black. I was hoping for an overview of everything. Kind of sucks.
Oh,
Oh,
we do. Wait, but this is not in the same place.
oh my giddy aunt! Look at the size of this maze.
Yeah.
Look at that starry sky. Are we going to be dropped into the middle of this maze,
I think we are.
or is this symbolic of something else? I don't know. It's kind of a cool pattern. It messes with your eyes when you stare at it, though. Don't stare too long.
Why?
Because it just mess. I'm just going to look at the sky. The sky's pretty.
I think you have to look down.
Look, you got the sunset.
Hey, Mummy, look down at me. Oh my God!
This is just a bit. Is this it? Is this the end?
It might be. I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, it's gone black.
What is it gonna say?
I keep feeling like there's just one bit more. Like there's just for R.
Turn back from this cave.
Okay. I think that was the end.
You said let me
Project would not have been possible without the following individuals.
Let me keep
Hi people. Matthew Barrett, Ryan Roth, Helena Huron, Richard Flanagan, Jesus. Turn Back. Written by Helena Heron. Performed by Helena Heron and Ryan Roth.
And you are so
Additional thanks
tired.
to all these wonderful people.
But
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I was expecting something more.
Woohoo! Come on, clap, clap, clap! Come on, Mom!
I want my money back.
Let's clap, let's do it,
Yeah.
I don't want to think.
I don't know.
Anyway, this is the end of the Let's Play. Well, thank you for all that watched, and
Yeah.
if you're new, please subscribe if you're new, but if you don't want to,
You
it's
don't
your
have
choice.
to. Yeah.
It's your choice.
But don't become the crazy stalker people.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't become those crazy stalker people like the narrator. You know, go out, grab life with both hands, and
Don't become like he did. Just don't.
don't depend on others to make you happy.
Yeah,
That's never going to work out well.
yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye!